Fair enough. Whatever is your wish. Your plan? Fair enough.
How may I help?
Incertainous.
Yes?
Hey, leave it.
I?
Certus veritas. Vita imperio.
These ones are in for a
Ferro.
walloping.
I?
Your plan. Incertus.
That's it. These ones are in for a walloping.
I?
Hey.
You should be running.
Hey.
Fair enough. Oh, you poor worm. Poor worm.
Yes?
Curses, I shall deal with this one.
Whatever is your wish.
Welcome.
Hey.
Fair enough.
Hey. Hey.
Direct me.
Hey. Of course. How may I help?
Incertus ver. Lay still. Let the darkness take you. Whatever is your wish. Whatever is your wish. Devious creatures. Whatever is your wish. Shh.
Yes?
Direct me.
Curses!
Yes?
Arthek Worthen Roth!
Incertus veritas vita scirio
That's it!
vero. Your plan? Lay still.
Laying low.
Hey. Yeah?
Your plan.
How may I help?
No!
Well, by all means.
Yeah?
The shadows obscure me, and they guide me. Your plan.
I?
Your plan.
Yes? Ah, thank you.
That's it!
Devious creatures.
Hey.
That's it!
Indeed. Hey.
Fair enough. You should be running.
That's it! Leave it to me! Let's have it out!
Aye?
Fair enough. Shh.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
These are... That's it!
Hey.
Your plan. Himself. Very.
That's it!
Vita. Imperium. In Circus Veritas. Vita.
That's it!
Keeping an eye out.
Oh, you thought you were so clever. In Circus Veritas. Vita Imperio Ferro. Your plan.
That's it!
Direct me. The shadows obscure me. and they guide me.
Looks like we'll be taking the long way
Oh, you
to
thought you were
Defiance
so
Bay.
clever.
That over there? That'd be the easy way to get to Defiance Bay. Before the floods, anyway.
Whatever. Direct me. Insert your world. Pity. Well, by all means.
Hey.
What? Hey. Well, by all means. In circumstance. Vita Imperio Ferro.
Lavaru, be on seat! These ones are in for a walloping!
Placed. Incertus Veritas Vita Imperio Ferro.
Hey. Hey.
What happened? Whatever is your wish. Whatever is your wish.
That's it!
Fair enough. Incertus Veritas. By all means. Whatever is your wish. Direct.
I shall... That's it! That's it!
Incertus Veritas Vita Imperio Ferro.
Leave it to me!
Lay still. Let the dark. Direct me.
Hello. Hello. Hey. Oh, other than the war, I never strayed too far from where you found me. Farming, mostly. I was never much for cities. Never learned a trade. In my younger days, I thought I was going to go preach the word of Aethys. Just in our temple there. My parents encouraged it. I made so much trouble for them growing up. They used to say it'd be best if I got in good with the God of Redemption. Of course, us blowing him up probably didn't help my chances there. But if anybody'd forgive you for blowing him up, it'd be Aethys. They, they did. It was strange timing, because we just won the war. They celebrated when I came home. There was music and dancing. Trumbull used half his grain making this big honey cake. I still dream about that cake. Like having the best lover of your life, but only for one night. And they were all sorry to hear about my brother. Took a while for word of the purges to reach us. Aethasians being murdered in the streets. Cold morn and the like. No way would they let something like that happen in Gilded Vale. But the weeks went by and the purges spread. Pretty soon they weren't so sure my brother fought for Deerwood. And they weren't so sure I did. Caught me by surprise after all the celebrating. Should have seen it coming after the tailor said he was gonna fit me for some new clothes, but then all he wanted was my neck measurement. Nah, not that last part. But you had to think about it. Says a lot about the place I've been calling home all these years. Well, I'm sure my parents are still wondering the same thing. The Aethasian purges were like this madness had come over the town, like a disease. Seems like when you see something like that, your instinct is to wait for it to pass, even when you know it probably won't. The family whose farm I worked on, they had a little Hollowborn girl. And they heard the Animancers had this cure, the Salvation it was called. They went running. This Salvation, they were putting animal souls in children. You might have heard about it. Giving them enough personality to care for themselves. You can guess how that turned out. Matter of time, the children broke down. Became wild things. Monsters. Anyway, these farmers put their family dog's soul in their little girl. For a while, the girl, she's making eye contact, she's feeding herself, albeit in a kind of messy way. And one day she snaps. They found her gnawing on her brother's bones. Had to chain her up, put her in a cow pen. Well, the mother, she wouldn't have anything to do with the girl after that. But the father, he'd visit every day. Feed her chickens, toss water on her once in a while to get the dirt off. Most of the village, they'd whisper about him. Poor man, they'd say, sick with grief. He was just waiting for his daughter to look up one day and recognize her papa. He was waiting for her to get better. Didn't understand. Well, I'm sure my parents... Anyway, well, he was just waiting for his daughter to look up one day and recognize her papa. He was waiting for her to get better. Didn't understand that at the time, of course, but these days I think about him a lot. What's on your mind? It makes two of us. If you're looking to find religion, maybe you want to start with a god that hasn't been burned to dust, but I won't stop you. Aethys, he was a young man with a silver crown. Carried a candle around with him. Sounds like I'm giving a bad eulogy here. In my way. I don't suppose he expects me to show up at his temple these days. Not much left to do for him other than keep his memory alive and keep hoping that he's just been playing a joke on all of us these past 15 years. Raised that way. My family's been Aethasian going way back. Suppose it wasn't much of a choice at first. Don't know for sure why my family started worshiping him. Probably because of Gon looking after folks like us. Mm-mm. There was something I genuinely liked about Aethys. Always. Like he understood people better than the other gods. Knew all our flaws and weaknesses and accepted us for that. Folks are at their worst when they're afraid. A god like Aethys, he made you realize there was nothing to fear. Made you a better person. Of course, he goes away for a few years, and look what happens. Was his actions. I mean, not when he started his rebellion, and not even when he took over Rhaed Saris. It was when he sent his armies into Deerwood. You sure you don't want to talk about something more pleasant? Like the War of Black Trees or the Legacy or something? What's on your mind? Hi?
Fair enough. Direct me.
Hello.
Aye? Aye? You're not getting through me. How may I help?
Fair enough. Well, by all means. Well, by all means. Direct. Your plan? You should be...
I shall be discreet.
Hey.
Yes?
Insertus Veritas Vita Imperio Vero. Your plan? This calls for a gentler hand.
Curse!
Insertus Veritas Vita.
Aye? How may I help?
Let's have it out! These ones are in for a walloping!
How may I help?
Fair enough. Direct me. Vita Incertus Veritatio Vita Imperio Vero. Your plan?
Hey,
Direct me. Incertus.
hi?
Incertus Veritas. Vita Imperio
I shall deal with this
Vero.
one.
Yes.
These uns are in for a...
Your plan?
Hi? Hey,
Fair enough. Whatever is your wish.
Ah, thank worth it. That's it.
Fair enough.
hey.
Fair enough. Devious creatures.
Saw you in the flames.
Your plan?
Good day, stranger.
Hey.
These uns are in for a walloping! Let's...
Fair enough. I fade away.
Hey,
Fair enough. Fair enough. Sir,
kind of stuck over here.
your plan. Inser veritas vita imperio ferro.
Curses!
How may I help?
You should direct.
How may I help? I shall deal with this one.
Curses!
In servus veritas vita imperio ferro.
Hey,
Lay still, let the darkness take you.
all right then.
Yes?
How may I... Of course. I?
Whatever is your wish. Whatever is your you. Fair enough.
How may I help?
Let's have it out!
Your plan?
Curses!
Whatever is your wish. Fair enough.
Hey. All right, then. I shall deal with this.
Direct.
Hey.
Direct me. Servus. Veritas. Vita. Whatever is your wish. Insert.
Curses!
Hey.
That's it!
Hi?
Damn it!
We gotta take better care of Valoth.
For Anthus!
Your plan? Your plan?
I shall be discreet.
Hey.
Well, by all means.
Hi?
Lavaru beyond.
Whatever is your wish.
Lavaru beyond sea. Lavaru.
Direct me.
Hey,
Your plan? Devious creatures.
Good day to you. Hail and well met.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Whatever is your wish.
Hey,
How do you do?
Fair enough.
I have received confirmation that Lord Radric's heir was not born well. My lord has issued an injunction on all new homesteads until he can be assured that the village has been cleansed of all Eothasians and whatever other undesirables that have brought this curse upon his lands. It would be best if you left town as soon as possible. I would suggest returning to your old home. There will be no place for you here. You may stay at the inn until you can make the necessary arrangements, but I would not advise remaining long. I expect Lord Radric will be most thorough in his efforts to purify this place.
Come to pray at the statue? The others are welcome, but it's best if just you and I trade words, and your shadows stay quiet. Hands off their weapons, both arcane and steel. It's only you I want to trade words with anyway. I swear before the whore that is Margaret, no harm will come to you in her shadow, if that's enough of a promise for you. If not... The world holds many whores we worship. Respect comes with honest titles. I bet even you have gone against instinct in exchange for a little copper. or paid for such in countless ways. But if I give offense, if words are all that are left to a man, then why in the Deerwood of all places he should have leave to speak them? I didn't give it. You probably find names as useless as I do. The names that litter this world like debris are hard enough to wrap around the tongue. And what do they matter? It's what's beneath the skin and the letters I care about. What burns within. It's more important to me you're a watcher than whatever culture or accent decorates your letters like awkward crowns. Take pride in your actions, not where you hail from, or how your name rolls off whatever liar's tongue coats it now. If you need a title to hang on me to match your own, Watcher, then call me Durance. And as you observe souls, I test them. I am a missionary. I walk this diseased nation with its heathen, its people so careless with the spirits of others and their own, watchers among them. Yes, I know you for what you are, and your name doesn't interest me. Names are for honest folk, and you are a crack that shines light from another place. We're meant to travel together, you and I. Saw you in the flames. Not your face, but that soul of yours, all tightened up like a huntsman's knot. There's things we can teach each other, if you're in need of answers to your mantle of questions. I don't force my words on anyone other than you. I don't care who walks with you or what their muling problems and politics are. There's enough howling in the world without me stoking that fire. I won't take from your provisions, don't need much on the road. I can carry my weight, which is considerable. Many will stand against you. They probably already have, from what I can see. Left their marks, it seems. Like a trail, worming its way behind you. Disease? Spirit wind? Both could have touched you, yet here you stand. As for disease, not all of us were close to water when the pox hit, but it's no longer a passenger in my flesh. It left its marks as well. But like flames, the pox doesn't strike twice, nor is it catching. Her? Don't fear her jealousy. Let us see what the road holds, Watcher. What? If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skinning your knuckles on the wrong door. The cost of troubling me seems to worry you little. That's a curse that runs deeper. It's a godhammer of a different sort. And like the godhammer, it was made by men's hands. There are fewer souls. There are more vessels. It is simply equaling of the process. I feel more remorse in putting down a slathering hound. A wict? Less than a mongrel in its misery. Murder is a kindness, not a crime. Always has been. I would sooner put the blade to those who are to blame instead. If any spirit should be punished, it's theirs. Murder you? I would not grant you any of them. The mercy I grant the Hollowborn. You would not be deserving of it. Murder is an old word. Mercy is letting a soul fly free to the next body. True punishment? Ruining someone to their soul. Crack their spirit like you would crack their skulls with a staff. Beat them. Hurt them in mind and body, so their souls become shards. But you leave it inside the vessel, like a bag of glass, to either choke on it or pass it through their bloody stool. Then, leave it in the body to think on it, like planting a new field with the right seed. Many marks may I make upon your flesh, but flame leaves marks that cannot heal. Magrin doctrine dictates true punishment is one that remains in memory, in the soul, in the flesh. Even should the victims die, slowly or swift, sometimes by their own hand afterwards, the lesson lingers, burned in their flesh. Have you seen a man branded by flame? He remembers it always, in every waking movement. It is a lesson writ in the only ink and vellum that matters, blood and flesh. One can burn the soul as well. It is an art, and I do not take pleasure in it, but there is more at stake here than forgiveness. Many of Aethys's faith were punished in the purges following the Saints' War, and the ones that harmed children, they suffered worse. We did what must be done. Wherever they were rooted out, their souls reclaimed. And if they couldn't be reclaimed, we ensured they would never inhabit another body. Aethys was the god of rebirth, and his light does not fall on the deer wood. I've heard some claim it's his doing, his death. It's closed the halls to new souls. I doubt it. The Hollowborn have their roots in the acts of men, women. I feel it.
Your plan?
It is. Well, not the wall itself, perhaps. The construction is very traditional. There are names scratched upon some of the bricks, just there. Workers and masons, I expect, carving a little immortality for themselves. It's a fine keep, Cadnua. 2 centuries to its name, and abandoned for nearly as long. But the truly interesting part is in there, and I haven't had much luck in reaching the keep itself. I hoped to find the master of this place, a man by the name of Meerwald, but it seems that he either holds his privacy most dear, or else has been devoured by his house guests. Knowledge. Or, to be less clever about it, a certain text. I've come in search of a great treasure, you see. Not gold or silver, but the Tanvi Oratoa. You might call it the Book of Virtues. It's a sacred text of Rauatai, but we possess only a small fragment of it. A watcher? Oh, you've spoken with spirits? There are many questions I would ask if I could do the same. Excellent. Lead on, my friend, and I will be at your heels. Ah, wait. Speaking of that, I ought to warn you first. Ondra's teeth, I nearly forgot. I have, at times, been followed. It began in Adir, and in Exometal they attacked outright. I believe they do not wish for me to find what I am looking for. I say believe, but I have been told as much by one of my would-be assassins. I pay them little mind. Humorless sorts in long robes. But it's why I bought the sword, you see. And it's only fair that you should know. I'm glad you're not discouraged. Come then. Who knows what we will find inside?
What?
Following your lead. Following your lead. Yes? Following your lead.
Well, by all means.
Yes? It's good to be on the road again. A wanderlust is nothing rare in the people of Rawatai, but often I think myself alone in loving the land as much as the sea. What shall we see next, I wonder? What shall I tell? I am Kanarua, born in the royal city of Tekoa, from which rules the Ranga Nui. There. That is a solemn enough start. I am a lore chanter in the college there. Or at least a student of lore and a chanter both. I was on the usual path at first. Theology, the traditions, when the Gate of Great Teeth was completed. It was all my father had hoped for. The greatest commission he had ever received. But it was also a sign that Rawatai was changing, looking inward. Meanwhile, I was neck-deep in the writing of a dozen nations, marveling at all the things that lay beyond our borders. Ah, Rawatai. Shall I describe the pearl-white sands, the sapphire waters, the multi-hued tiles of the rooftops, like a mosaic upon the coast? Sorry. Tekoa is doubly famed, a royal city and home to the Coral Harbor. The Ranganui's palace is there, and we've a fleet of royal ships sitting outside the Gate of Great Teeth. Every so often, you'll hear the roar of a cannon being tested. The Tanvi Oratoa. It's not really a book. It's been passed down over the years in the form of a chant. I actually found it a little strange at first, seeing it set down in stone. It's not quite the same as a song of worship, though we have paeans to the gods as well. More a kind of moral guide. It gives us something to aspire to. The, model of a virtuous citizen of Rawatai. I don't know that the distinction is necessarily important. Rawatai has a long history, and our people have come from many different places. It matters less who wrote it than that I have found pieces of the verses all around the world. Wherever it came from, it will be Rawatai that decides what becomes of it. All the races and peoples of our kingdom coming together to create a great empire. You see, then, that I am loyal in my way. Dutiful, learned, honest. The sticking point is loyal. Loyal to the people of Rawatai above all others. Fearless in their defense and bold in aspiration. Tireless in battle or industry. An inspiration to one's people. But it seems it's not that far a leap from there to the idea that we must cast out foreign influences. Doesn't everyone want to be a good citizen? Much of Ingwith's writing is lost to us, but an engraving would survive. I found several tablets at the site in Examitol. The scholar Gabranos, in particular, seems to have been fond of writing on the walls. I may have to ask you to help me carry it, if it's a large stone. There have been arguments as to the chant's true interpretation. New translations, even. But any rendition of it I find in the ruins of Engwith will predate those translations by 2,000 years. And finding it here also proves that we still have much to gain from trading with other cultures. I'd be lying if I said I'm not looking forward to seeing the look on everyone's faces when I get back. But in the long term, I just think that we can learn a lot from the Engwithians. A civilization like that is something to aspire to. A model for Rawatai as a whole, and not just its people. And I want to prove that all of this is worthwhile. Traveling, seeing the world for what it is. It's been so different from sitting in the Chanter Hall and studying books. More or less. It wasn't a popular theory when I suggested it. The idea that we shared the Tanvi Oratoha with some older culture, I mean, doesn't mean it's not true. It doesn't help that my family is from the Deadfire Islands. If I had a copper pond for every chanter who suggested that it's just not in my nature to conquer. My siblings, my parents, they make up for it. They build walls and cannons and ships. I've tried to explain. It isn't that I think those things aren't necessary, but if Rawatai closes itself off from trade, turns on its own people over tradition, we will fall behind, and then we'll be the ones getting conquered. I think my father tries to understand at least.
Direct me. Fair enough.
It looks like this place has been abandoned for years.
Once more through the gates, with more success this time, I hope.
Old and dry, with cobwebs in every crack. It reminds me of Woodica.
Following your lead.
Fair enough.
Brave down.
earth for him this time.
Hey,
Brave.
Direct me. Well, by all means.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skinning your knuckles on the wrong door. Wasn't a war. It was a god stepping past himself. The country of Raed Saris and all their heathens. They're paying for it now. Although by my count, the fire should have roared through their country with more force, catching all their souls. Truth, it wasn't even a war. It was a cautionary tale about pride. Specifically, Widewind's pride. He should have stayed a farmer. Gods have taken flesh, in all respects, taking willing and unwilling vessels. It's not a violation, it's what gods do, as long as they accept all that comes with it. Men are weak. Gods? Well, we showed old Widewen that he was flesh and blood, no matter how much light was pouring out of his farmer's hands. Took men of faith to build a weapon, a godhammer. Judgment. Proved him dead at Halgot Citadel. We poured the God Hammer into its foundations with faith. Set it alight. Let the hammer fall upwards onto the anvil. 8 died before the God Hammer fell, and the God Hammer claimed the remainder, 12 in all. We started saving the Aothasians from themselves, burning any that didn't die with their god. Heresy in Raed Ceres is one thing. Heresy here in the Deerwood comes with a more personal touch. As I see it, every Aothasian who still lives in the Deerwood puts the nation at risk, is another dagger held to the throat of our faith. Root them out, burn them, or send them back to Raed Ceres to wallow in the blood of their failure.
Whatever is your wish. Fair enough. Well, by all means.
How may I help?
Direct me.
I?
Whatever is your wish.
That's it! That's it!
Incertus veritas vita imperio
Aye?
ferro.
Brave thou Philothelim.
Fair enough.
Leave our village! We've done nothing to you! You can't do this! This is our village, our home! The Nine Claws have lived here almost 50 generations. We were here long before your kind brought war to our lands. You can't just burn it all! Have mercy, soldier! Our warriors have all gone! You can't burn us all because of them!
Direct me.
Hey. How may I help?
Yes?
What?
Hey. Hey. Do you think he'd be mad if we sat in his chair? I mean, he doesn't have to know.
Well, that's, unusual.
Clearly of Adiran make. They like their archways.
Hey.
Brave thou Philothelim.
Direct. Direct me. Fair enough.
Another watcher in Cadnua, glowing very brightly indeed to these eyes. What strange happenstance. As am I. If you should happen to find him, I would be glad to know of it. Each day his absence brings new dust to my halls, new cracks to my stones. It's shameful is what it is. The Earl would never have let it come to this. You are free to search for him here. I will unbar the way. Not as a land is its lord's, more as a child is its mother's. This castle was my design, you see. The Earl appointed me to do it. I was getting on in years. I knew it would be my only chance to build something magnificent. When it was built, I couldn't bring myself to part from it, to go back to my lonely home. I begged the Earl to let me stay, to take care of it. It was all I wanted, and he granted it. Years later, when Bereth's usher finally came calling, I begged the Earl to find a way to let me remain, and so he did. He was a great man. He came here one day, young with long hair and polished armor, and he banished the dark things that had come to lurk in this place after centuries of neglect. He could see the beauty of this place, the way it had been. So he claimed it for his own when no one else would take it. We worked together to restore it. But he began to grow distant some time ago. He never told me why. He retreated deeper and deeper into the keep, never leaving, sending servants for food, hiding himself from my sight. The restoration stopped. Now, to look at the place, you'd never know the progress we'd made. In most places, it's worse than it ever was. And all I can do is watch it crumble around me. I can feel his presence faintly somewhere deeper inside the keep. But he uses his gifts to confound me, and my senses are dulled while he does so. I only wish I could know his mind. Imprisoned? At times it feels that way, I suppose. But it's more that I reside here. The throne was brought up from the ruins, one of the first things they found. As a last favor to a dying woman, the Earl arranged for me to be moved into it. Audra is an accommodating vessel for a soul. Oh, it's not as confining as it seems. I can feel the whole keep from here, and all things that are tied to it. There's something about this throne and its construction. Or maybe it's something about this place. The Earl of Yenwood, the original, in fact, when Deerwood was a colony. He found this site, the only ruin Ere Glanfarth refused to defend, and he believed its wealth would be great. The keep was his way of defending his family's claim, and that claim became his obsession. He had to know what lay beneath. He devoted his life to excavating the ruins below the keep. They had been sealed with rock and soil. Deliberately, it would seem. Years passed, and with them the Earl. He dug his entire life and never found what he sought. His obsession became his sons and his sons' sons. And one day, that young Earl broke through. An endless maze, incomprehensible in its construction. But he would never come to learn more than that. Vile things had taken residence there, vile and dangerous. They poured up through the keep and slew its residents. the Earl among them. After that, the keep remained abandoned, unused, wasted. Meowall's mastery of this place was the first hope I'd had in 200 years. How I've longed to see it as it once was. I can only guess why all this has happened. I fear I've wronged the gods putting this place here, and they've doomed me to watch it wear away into dust. To witness my own folly. Take care in your search. Many dangers lie in wait here.
Following your lead. Yes, my friend?
Fair enough. Whatever is
Hey,
direct to me. Fair enough. Veritas. Vita.
Following your lead. Yes, my friend?
Fair enough.
Craved out
Whatever is your wish.
yes? Hey,
Whatever is your wish.
I? Hey,
Craved out Yes?
I?
Whatever is your wish.
horses!
Oh, you poor worm. I pity you.
Hey.
Craved out.
Your plan? Fair enough.